What's up, Rebels? It is Chunky Monkey 40 here. Currently, I'm standing in front of Ladder 10, right at the corner of Greenwick and Liberty Street. Ladder 10 is the firehouse kitty corner to Ground Zero, and it was actually built to service the Twin Towers. This plaque is placed in memorial of the 10 houses bravest who were lost during the collapse. Their names are Firefighter Jeffrey J. Olson, Firefighter Paul Pancini, Lieutenant Greg A. Atlas, Captain James J. Corrigan, Firefighter Sean P. Talon, and Lieutenant Stephen G. Harrell. On the side of the 10 house, there is also a sculptured wall that reads, "Dedicated to those who fell and those who carried on. May we never forget." There were 343 New York firefighters in total lost on 9/11. This wall is built as a memorial to them, and it includes all of their names. Here are some pictures of what the 10 house would have looked like the day after 9/11. We are about to enter the World Trade Center block. This is where the memorial sits. Obviously, this is also where 20 years ago the two towers would have stood. Now, there's just one. A 1776-foot tall middle finger of freedom.
Alright, so we're heading to the Memorial Museum, which is just straight ahead.
So right now we're here at the South Pool, and then the North Pool is up here. The museum entrance is right there.
Oh, so look.
Yeah.
We hit here, then we move here, and then we go back to back here for the train station.
No, train station's right here. That's where we came out of. It was under 2 World Trade Center.
Same shit.
Now this pool right here 20 years ago was World Trade Center 2. This half wall is built on the border of the South Tower. And on top of the wall you will see every name from every person who was killed on 9/11. And any name you see with a white rose in it, that means that it is that person's birthday today. Wow. While it was the second tower hit, it was the first to collapse. The South Tower of the World Trade Center complex was hit by Flight 175 at 9:03 a.m. The plane was crashed between floors 77 and 85. This is insane. This is literally right where the South Tower stood. And it's built in the same shape as the tower as well. And then up there is the One World Trade Center. That was where the center of the building was, right there, obviously. This would have been where the elevator shafts would have been, and everything. I mean, just look at how stunning this is right here. So up here is one of the white roses, and then there's a pink rose too. I'm not totally sure what those mean, but I do know the white roses are birthdays. So it was their birthday today. Happy birthday. A hot pink rose represents gratitude and appreciation. It is a way of saying thank you. And then this is where the North Tower would have stood. Not too far from where the South Tower was over there. The North Tower of the World Trade Center was hit by American Airlines Flight 11 at 8:46 a.m. between floors 93 and 99. The first one hit and yet the second to collapse. The tower burned for an hour and 42 minutes before finally collapsing in on itself at 10:26. This is insane. Okay, so right here we have 2 pieces from the bottom level of the Trade Center. These are massive. Wow. This is massive. Look at this. These are insane. Wow. It goes up just to the start of the windows. but all of this would have been the lobby. Each of these steel columns is the base of a trident, the three-branched architectural element that gave the twin towers their distinctive lower facades. These columns are 2 of the 84 that form the structural perimeter of the North Tower.
Oh, look, I didn't notice they had a picture of the incident.
Wow. Holy crap. That's literally right here. Wow. That was the view looking straight up one of the towers. What's this? Oh, here's the aluminum cladding. All this would have wrapped around all that, and it gave it that much prettier look. This right here is the globe statue that stood right in the park around the 2 twin towers. Now that globe statue is still here somewhere. Just look at that though. Look how much things have changed. This is recovered from the Al Qaeda headquarters at Tarnak Farms. Here's some information about the actual original towers. This sign is from the Heritage Trails, New York. Heritage Trails sign standing at the perimeter of Ground Zero, fall 2001. Wow. This plaque has been placed by the commissioners of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey in commemoration of the skill and industry of the thousands of construction workers and Port Authority personnel whose efforts created the World Trade Center. World Trade Center Dedication Day, April 4th, 1973. Wow, look at this. This piece of steel, once part of the north facade of the North Tower, was located at the point of impact where hijacked Flight 11 pierced the building at the 93rd through the 99th floors. Wow. Maybe it says it somewhere on it, but this is crazy. Like, look at how twisted it all is. And it's something else to really see it in person. I mean, this is massive. And that's right where the plane hit, on the North Tower. That's Lower Manhattan, the view from Jersey City. These were all the posters put all around the city saying, hey, this person is missing. And then there's more of them over here as well. The area right here where we are standing is where the 1993 World Trade Center bombing occurred. Wow. On February 26, 1993, Islamic terrorists drove a van loaded with approximately 1,200 pounds of explosives into the parking garage beneath the World Trade Center. They escaped in a waiting car before the bomb exploded at 12:18 p.m. The blast killed 6 people, including a pregnant woman. More than 1,000 building occupants and emergency responders were injured, but the terrorists' mission to topple the buildings failed. There they are. Right here is where the survivor stairs are. The staircase once connected to the northern edge of the World Trade Center's plaza to the Vesey Street sidewalk below. On September 11, 2001, the stairs provided an unobstructed exit for hundreds seeking to escape. Holy shit. These ones look pretty good, but when you look down, it's just destroyed. Honestly, it's crazy these things survived the collapse. There's another photo of what they would have looked like. And then right here, no day shall erase you from the memory of time. Every single square is not only a different shade of blue. I believe they chose blue to represent the bright blue sky on that September day, but every single square is a different shade because that represents every single individual person who died that day. Atop of the North Tower was the communications antenna. This is a segment of the radio and television antenna. Wow. This is all that remains of the steel columns where the tower stood. It's crazy. You can see this picture from the construction to get a bit of a perspective of when these things were put here. Way back in, I believe, the 60s. See the rebar? That's insane. The Twin Towers were the first skyscrapers to employ a system of local and express elevators. Each tower's 99 elevators included freight, local, and high-speed express cars. 2 express cars traveled directly to the Windows on the World restaurant in the North Tower, and 2 went to the South Tower observation deck. This elevator motor, the largest model in the world when installed, powered one of the express or service cars, which moved at a speed of 1,600 feet per minute. A total of 99 motors operated the elevator system in each tower. This right here is ladder 3. Wow. This helmet belonged to Captain Patrick John Brown, and he was part of the crew on ladder 3. And that's the cab. You can see it right there. This here is the last piece. When they cleared out this area, this was the one piece that I believe was left here, or it was the last piece taken away. The last column, a marker of loss. At Ground Zero, column 1001B helped to support a temporary haul road known as the Tully Road, laid close to where the South Tower's elevators had been located. Many first responders who were killed in the tower's lobby were believed to have been buried nearby. In March 2002, after the remains of some missing FDNY Squad 41 members had been found in the area, a squad member painted SQ41 to mark the recovery. The marking is still visible at the center of the column. So that is all that I filmed at the World Trade Center Memorial. There was a big section of it that I couldn't film because they didn't allow videos or photos being taken in that section. That was the actual artifact museum underneath the South Tower, well, the South Pool where the South Tower was. And at the end of this little bit, I have some stuff I want to say, but at the end of this little bit, I'm going to include a slideshow of some pictures that I'm going to find online of some of the stuff that was inside that part of the museum. But I want to say thank you to my best friend Joe for taking me down to New York City and giving me that opportunity and making that dream come true for me to actually get to go to New York City and get to see everything that we saw when we were down there. We saw the Statue of Liberty, the One World Observatory, the 9/11 Memorial, obviously, and I actually got a bonus one. I also got to see the pier where the Titanic was supposed to dock from the One World Observatory. That was pretty cool. Making this video has been something else. I've never really felt this way about any video I've ever made. It was emotional to watch all this footage over and over and try and find the pictures and videos for this video, plus also reliving what it felt like when I was walking around the grounds. And I didn't really talk about that because I didn't really realize how it felt until afterwards, because I mean, I was on cloud 9. I really was. I mean, it's been a dream of mine to go to New York City for a very long time, and to actually have gone there to see the history that lies in that city, it was awesome, just a little bit that I did see. But man, walking around Ground Zero was really a emotional experience. I didn't know what to feel, honestly, because half of me on video when I was filming, I wanted to say, this is so beautiful, wow, I mean, this is gorgeous. But then at the same time, I'm also 20 years ago, 3,000 people died right here 20 years ago on these sidewalks, people ran for their lives from a big cloud of dust, taller than a 20-story building, as those towers collapsed. I mean, walking around that section of Manhattan, you can really feel what happened. You really can. I'm a very spiritual person, and it just has a vibe. The memorial is just beautiful, though, and they couldn't have done a more beautiful job on it. But as you walk around the grounds, you really can feel what happened there. And I think the biggest thing I took away from being at the museum was that tomorrow is not promised. Why would you waste today hating something or somebody? Why would you waste today doing that just to not have tomorrow? Tomorrow is not promised. Right now in this country, what we are seeing is nothing but division and hate. It's just not okay. On 9/11 in Lower Manhattan at Ground Zero, it didn't matter what race, religion, political belief, none of that stuff mattered. All that mattered was people would look at another person and be like, that's another human and they need help. How can I help them?
At one point I saw a blind man with a seeing eye dog. It's hard to talk about. But his normal direction, his normal way of leaving the building must have been blocked. And I could see him walking around in circles in the panic and the pandemonium. And I grabbed two Wall Street looking guys in suits. I says, get that guy and don't let him go. They grabbed the guy, they grabbed the dog, they got under his arm. They carried that guy 4 blocks to the subway. They never once let him go. I was so proud that they never ran off on their own and left him behind. Because at that point they could have, and everybody would have understood that it was every man for himself. They took that guy and they carried him all the way, and I watched them to make sure that they didn't leave him behind because I was going to go get him. They took him, yes sir, no problem. They took him all the way down the stairs. I was very, very proud of the New Yorkers that day.
Where is that? Where is that love for your fellow Americans? You just don't see that anymore. I don't think anybody would ever ask for another 9/11, but I think everyone in this country can agree that we need another 9/12. Because on 9/12, this country was united. This country had pride. We were all on the same page. We wanted justice for what happened in New York City. Nowadays, everyone's got to pick a political stance or make it racial or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. Go do what you want to do. Go live your dreams. I had a dream that one day I'd get to go to New York City. And my friend Joe and I made that happen. I had a crazy idea that my broke ass would go travel around the country for 25 days on the road, living out of my truck on a budget of $2,000. And I did it because I wanted to. I put my mind to it and I did it. And not only that, I have the opportunity to bring you guys along with me and give you guys the ability to experience the same thing that I experienced when I did this. Now me, I'm 19 years old. When 9/11 happened, I wasn't even a thought. I was born August 29th, 2002, almost a whole year after 9/11 happened. And so I've only lived in a time that was post 9/11. And now I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to believe or what to think, but I am going to tell you one thing, and that is that we should never forget what happened on September 11th, 2001. We should never forget why we stand for our American flag, and that tomorrow is not a promise. Live your lives to the fullest every single day, and if there's anything you guys take from this video, I hope it's that. I'm going to play that slideshow now. And with all that said and out of the way, I am ChunkyMonkey40 at YouTube.com. Stay proud to be an American, and stay rebel, y'all.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Were you in the yard with your wife and children working on some stage in LA? Did you stand there and shock at the sight of that black smoke rising against that blue sky? Did you shout out in anger and fear for your neighbor? Did you just sit down and cry? Did you weep for the children that lost their dear loved ones? Pray for the ones who don't know? Did you rejoice for the people who walk from the rubble? Sob for the ones left below? Did you burst out with pride for the red, white, and blue? The heroes who died just doing what they do? Did you look up to heaven for some kind of answer? Look at yourself and what really matters. I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this one when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us. The greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Teaching a class full of innocent children, driving down some cold interstate. Did you feel guilty